We might have just gotten a brand new Idris weapon. When I half-jokingly said that the Idris is coming in my last video, we were going off of a website URL, some audio for a laser, and a detached turret lying around Invictus. Then, just days before Invictus, the live patch dropped and we just got an absolute Idris load of new information and videos about torpedoes, paints, and more. We even got our first in-game information about the brand new buffed turrets on the Perseus. Hello folks, Space Tech here, and welcome to a quick video going over everything we just saw and learned about the Idris, including an absolutely insane, never seen before torpedo mount for the Idris P variant. Thanks to the awesome work of the Discussing Whatever and Pipeline Discords, we also got to see the K-Kit's front-mounted missile launcher, as well as finally getting footage of its huge size 10 laser. As always, I've left timestamps down below, so feel free to jump around to sections that interest you the most. So the Idris. The last official communication we got about this ship was that we would get it with the release of Squadron 42. I now believe it's possible that the Idris M is the one that will be held for Squadron, while the Idris P and K-Kit will be released earlier at some point. Recently, we got the full Idris M in-game with interior included. At long last, I think we're about to see the Idris P for the first time, and here's why. Last week, a URL was found, play.sc/Idris. This URL redirects you to a comlink webpage in the exact same URL style used for new ship sales, and it mentions the Idris P directly. Then there's the K-Kit. For those of you who don't know, the Idris comes in two variants, M for the military and P for very wealthy civilians and orgs. The military version comes with the insanely lethal size 10 railgun that sits on the bottom of the ship and can one-shot almost anything. It also has a dedicated missile room and increased armor protection. The P variant loses those things in exchange for a small cargo room and much weaker weapons overall. Then comes the K-Kit. This acts as a bridge of some sort between the two variants. It's an upgrade to the Idris that attaches a size 10 laser to the spine, along with a large missile turret in the front of the ship. It also replaces some remote turrets with PDCs instead. All of this has now been found in-game. First was the large missile turret that was found at the Invictus celebrations, and now we have a video of the actual laser at work. It's worth noting here that we have never seen the K-Kit in-game until now. Now, it can be spawned in and has a fully fleshed out UI and firing experience complete with VFX and audio. At the very least, I think it is undeniable that we will now see Idris Ps with the K-Kit installed as NPCs for missions in the verse. That's not all, however, since we got many more weapon details for the Idris. First is the size 10 laser, of course. Made by Hurston Dynamics, this bespoke laser is described as giving the Idris K a highly accurate and devastating weapon. I cannot wait to use this personally. Next are a series of size 7 weapons. The first is a ballistic cannon turret. This is described as being built for the Idris dorsal turret, or the one on top. The weapons themselves are bespoke, which in Star Citizen usually means that they're far stronger than a regular size 7. This turret can be for the Idris P or the Idris M, since that top turret is a size 7 in both cases if the K-Kit is applied to the P. It is also really cool to see a ballistic cannon weapon, since we rarely see ballistic weapons being used in general, and a ship like the Idris should have a truly ludicrous amount of extra ammo, taking away the major downside of ballistic weapons. Also, when we finally get in-flight reloading, you best believe that you'll be able to store tons of extra ammo for this gun in the Idris cargo hold. Last, we also got a specific PDC laser repeater with the name M2C Swarm. This might be the existing PDC laser since that gun doesn't currently have a name, but I'm not too sure. Next up were the new missiles, and this is where it gets really, really spicy. We first have the Idris K-Kit's missile turret. This size 7 turret holds a whopping 32 size 3 missiles. I really hope we have an internal method to reload these, since the Idris is going to be able to carry hundreds more in its hold. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The size 10 HMF T12 Hammerfall torpedo launcher. This is its description. Offering an alternative to the stock Aegis Idris nose gun, this set of 4 torpedo launchers are able to store 20 size 12 torpedoes, 4 in each launcher and 4 in reserve. Now the wording here can be a little confusing. It could mean 20 in total with 8 held in the tubes, or it could mean a total of 28 possible size 12 torpedoes. Keep in mind, the base Idris M has 10 size 5s, and the Idris P has no known missiles at all. Size 12 is absolutely insane. For context, the only ship in the verse that we know that can carry size 12s is the Javelin Destroyer. The Polaris, which is up to this point thought to be the torpedo specialist of the Star Citizen lineup, carries 28 size 10s, 2 whole sizes smaller than these found for the Idris. That is a difference of up to 400,000 damage per torpedo, or a 50% increase in total damage. That amount of damage is absolutely insane and would completely change the way you could use the Idris. While the railgun and laser are nothing to sleep on either, I love the idea of huge instances of damage, especially when one of them would be enough to take out a Polaris with its shields down, or just 2 of them would do the job even with the Polaris at max shielding. At this point, we have no idea what this attachment is about. Can it be applied to both the M and the P? Does it come as part of a different upgrade kit? Also, will it be fireable by the pilot? We know that for balance reasons, the Polaris pilot can't shoot its own torpedoes. I wonder if the Idris will be limited in the same way. I personally don't think so. The main reason I believe this is that the pilot for the Idris M and the Idris P with the K kit can both fire their main weapons from the pilot seat. If these torpedoes can be fired by the pilot, I really do question why the Polaris torpedoes can't be used from there. Anyway, there's a lot of unanswered questions that will be answered very shortly on day 1 of Invictus, which happens to be Aegis Day. All of this is in addition to several Idris paints that have also been found in the files, including this awesome shark head one. If you ask me, paints really make the least amount of sense if the Idris wasn't about to be released. They have barely ever sold paints for a ship you can't fly, and I don't see them bringing that back for the Idris. At any rate, even someone as skeptical as me is starting to believe that we may see an Idris P flyable at IFW this year. As always though, expect nothing so you can't be disappointed. The last little bit of information that we have found is regarding the Perseus. While we have heard whispers of the upgrade it got through the Chinese SCL, we have direct information from the game files that the dual size 7s have been upgraded to a size 8. The description is as follows. Building on centuries of RSI weapon technology, the Perseus utilizes bespoke size 8 Medusa cannons that deliver devastating salvos of ballistic fire, capable of starting fights just as easily as ending them. These custom-made RSI cannons excel at punishing larger targets at long range, making it a formidable battlefield equalizer. Now, this doesn't really say if these are dual turrets or not, but I can't imagine them dropping 2 size 7s per turret down to a single size 8. It would also ruin the look of the ship in my opinion. Another detail that is missing is whether or not these bespoke size 8s will be retaining the ammo types that give the size 7s their versatility. Being bespoke, I'd imagine they'd be keeping that selling factor since they've already used that in the ship promotions, but you can never be too sure when it comes to Star Citizen. So how excited are you for the Idris torpedoes? Let me know down below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.